we really, really hurt ourselves because we were insistent in our arrogance that we knew what was best for ourselves, for humanity, for the earth. Well, look what we've done there. For the universe, control, the illusion of control. Any idea of control is an illusion and it is arrogant.
Welcome to Wealth Embodied. Together, along with some amazing guests, we'll explore and tap into our innate abundance and have meaningful conversations about developing our ability to embody the vibration of wealth while also uncovering new ways to think, feel, and cultivate our relationship with money so we can live our lives wealthy and aligned. Let's welcome our host, Alara Sage.
Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of Wealth Embodied, where we activate and inspire you in your wealth consciousness, your creative genius, and your visionary impact. I'm your host, Alara Sage. I am the Oracle of Wealth, and I help visionary entrepreneurs to embody inexhaustible wealth. This is our natural state of being. This is a deep state of communion with life. It is creating life through art of our genius. It is effortless. It is alive. It flows. It expresses. It experiences. And it is my deep, deep belief that it is the new era of wealth, as I see it as the Oracle of Wealth. It is what I see as the future. So I want to recognize you as a listener, because whether you know it or not, but by simply listening to this podcast, you are a part of this movement. You are a part of this movement. You are someone who is saying that this matters. You are someone that says, the old way of chasing, achieving, striving, forcing doesn't seem to fit right anymore. And no matter what your level of awareness is, you deeply inner sense is that there's a new way. And that's what brought you here. So I celebrate you. And I am deeply, deeply grateful that you are here with me. So with that, I invite you to take a nice deep breath into your body. And today I really want to talk about, in this solo episode, the act of doing and how the act of doing is transforming. And we are so close. If you've been listening, I haven't had some guest episodes for a while because I was moving, and then I had a lot of reschedules and cancellations, and it never ceases to amaze me how the universe absolutely contrives to meet us with exactly what we need when we stop trying to control it. And how effortless it all really is. So, as I have deepened into the own embodiment myself, there has been a desire for the guest to shift. And so that has just naturally taken place. So it will be happening soon that we have a guest episode. And until then, we'll continue with the solo episodes. So here we are, just you and me. And the doing. Because, well, let's start with first the old way of wearing the badge of honor that I am busy. I'm busy. I'm so busy. How that has literally been a badge of honor, right? It has somehow been this way of saying, I'm successful. I'm doing it. I've got so much on my plate that I don't have time for anything. That's my measurement and my level of success. And humanity has largely experienced burnout because of this. And in fact, in 2019, I had an oracle revelation that humanity needed to stop. this nonsense, and that it was going to either be of choice, that we were going to slow down, or we were going to get slapped, is what I always call it. I always call it slapped, when higher self or the universe steps in and makes it very clear what's happening, because we are not listening. We get slapped when we're not listening. And that was in 2019. And then in 2020, what happened? COVID, right? And the world stopped. Everybody stopped. And it was spoken of often how wonderful that was, that we all got to slow down and stop. And it was in a very intense way, and had a lot of death and a lot of transformation. And we chose that way because we couldn't let go of the badge, I am so busy. We didn't know how to let it go. What happens if we let go? Does that mean we stop doing? Are we just not doing? What does that mean? And what happens? So understanding that any form of I'm so busy, or unconsciously filling your calendar with things to do, I don't care what they are. If your calendar is full, you are in scarcity lack. If there is no spaciousness in your calendar, if it is filled to the brim, then you are in scarcity lack. And I will show you how that is. And it is of the old world. It is of the old way of, quote unquote, making money. And that statement in of itself is very symbolic to how the financial systems just keep printing money to fill a void, to fill a void. And yet we keep going further in debt. That is very reflective of our inner consciousness, our inner psyche. Everything external is a reflection of internal. And sometimes that's hard to swallow, but it's the truth. And the truth is, the easier that you own that and understand it, not that you have to take responsibility for everything outside of yourself, because that's not truth either, but just simply that it's a reflection of the human psyche, not just your psyche, the human psyche at large, then life becomes really interesting. Very, very interesting. So making money, right? Just printing money to fill a void, or making money, chasing, hustling, doing to get something. To get something. What are we getting? I don't really know. We're just getting something. We're going after something, and then we achieve it. And then for some reason that didn't do it. So we go and we do something else. And surely at some point we will feel fulfilled, right? Because something has to be achieved, and then we'll feel fulfilled. That's surely what's going to happen. And yet, how many times have you done that? How many times has humanity done that over and over and over again? Achieved, chased, grabbed, grasped, forced, done, did, dude. And yet, do you experience aliveness? Do you experience deep communion with life? Because that's all you really need. That's where inexhaustible wealth exists. This truth that if we keep doing something over and over again, expecting different results, well, we know that meme, that quote. And yet here we did it for many, 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 many years and generations. Burned ourselves out, burnt ourselves into the ground, became sick, exhausted, unhappy, depressed, on pain meds, on deep depression meds, on meds, pills. And of course, I'm speaking to the general public here. Alcohol, any kind of avoidance, social media, like pills are just, again, a reflection of avoidance that exists in many different forms. So maybe you're not personally taking the pill, but are you taking the pill? Are you avoiding in a different way, right? We all do it. We all do it. So that's all the old. And just how exhausting that truly is, because you never reach the top. It's like the mountain that you climb, get to that top, and then, oh, wait, there's another mountain over there. That's the mountain I need to climb. So I need to come off of this mountain, go over to that mountain, climb that mountain. Darn it, this isn't the mountain either. It's that mountain over there. And a lot of energy is expelled in that doing, because the premise of that entire paradigm of belief is that it's how much you do that equates to your worthiness. Just feel that. How much you do defines how worthy you are, what you achieve, how many accolades you have, how many awards you've won. Well, that shows clearly how great you are, does it? Or is it just another top of a mountain that when you got there, maybe you had a brief moment of fulfillment as you had a beautiful view, but where did that go? And so a lot of energy expelled into doing, and all of that with very little potency. I'm not to say it has no potency, because still humans have accomplished amazing things. I mean, we are amazing. Humans are absolutely amazing. Through the most incredible eras of humanity, of devastation and suffering and all these things, we still create magnificence and find ways to improve and expand and excel and move on. And that's really beautiful. So we've achieved so much, and we've never been so empty. We've never been so disconnected from ourselves, from our families, from nature, from what really matters. And if you've been on the spiritual journey, you've been through all of this. You've already taken steps towards, wait, something doesn't quite land. And yet, my spiritual clients, the ones who are aware, still find themselves caught in doing of old paradigm. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they're wearing the badge of I'm so busy, or that their calendars are filled to the brim, but it does mean that their actions are not as potent as it can be when we are deeply present and in communion with life. So much work for results, and that's dead. It's dead. That energy, if you are in any way, shape, or form aligning to that energy, you are aligning to diabolical energy. You are aligning to that which is decomposing. I don't think that's where you want to be. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I am presuming. I am assuming. So definitely room for error there. And maybe you're like, you know what? I want to align to diabolical, decomposing energy. Fantastic. Then. But again, if you are listening to this podcast and drawn in any way, shape, or form, then you are here for the new. And I insist on that truth. I insist on that assumption. And so the new era is absolutely still has doing. You know, in the spiritual community, there's a lot of, the feminine way is being. That's already incorrect. The feminine is not being. She is receiving. The child is the beingness. The child is the neutral polarity. And which, is that even a polarity? That's a really good question. Neutral charge. The child is the beingness. And we're absolutely learning how to come back to the child, which exists before and after the feminine and masculine. Is a paradox. It's a paradox of creation. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? It's a paradox. You'll never know the answer. So the feminine is not beingness. She is receiving. She is magnetism. She draws in. And we are embodying more of the feminine way. So part of these conversations are true because we are embodying more of the feminine way. We've been in the masculine way, and that's been the doing. And that's not necessarily wrong. We need the masculine too. But we need to be doing from a place of inner knowing and wisdom. And that is the feminine. She is the inner guidance. She says, we're going this direction. And then the masculine takes us there. So we are embodying more of the feminine, but that's not in just being. It is. We are also embodying more being, but that's the child. I hope I'm making sense. And I only delineate because there can be a misunderstanding. And when there's misunderstanding, well, we don't fully embody unless we just find it on our own. So understanding that we need action actualizes. It is the process of manifestation. So in order to create our desires, we must actualize the energy of our desires and of that lived state, that version of ourselves into reality through our action. So that's action, that's manifestation. It's required. And there's a big difference between actioning in the old paradigm of it's all about quantity and logical mind versus the new paradigm is about doing less, but doing more potent so that each one of your actions really matters. It really lands energetically in your space. And we do this through intention. And we do this by listening to our inner wisdom and what I call our lit AF strategy. And strategy for everything, strategy for your life, strategy for your business, strategy for your relationships. Strategy is the how you are taking the action. So we need strategy, we need action. And is it lit? Is it coming from a place of aliveness? Is it coming from a place of beingness, the remembrance that you are all of it? Is it coming because it feels like you can't stop it? Like this is very clearly what wants to occur through me? Or is it analytical? Are you seeing it linearly? In order to get from here to there, I must take these steps to get there. That's linear creation. We are now in the era of nonlinear quantum creation. It's so much more fun. It really is. So, I mean, again, hang on to the old paradigm, hang on to the linear creation. If you desire, hang on to the diabolical, hang on to that which is dead, dying. That's like the Walking Dead. Like if you want to be a part of the Walking Dead, by all means, I support you. I love you. However, right? Like that's not much fun. I'd much rather live in aliveness. I would much rather be aligned to that which is anabolical and expanding and growing and turning into so much light and ride that wave and learn more and more, because we're all learning how to allow life through you and how effortless it really, really is. So something that wants to come through right now, and this is a beautiful point, and I hope it hits you really hard because it's meant to. It's meant to be a slap in the face. The old paradigm is where we are seemingly in control, absolute arrogance. It's okay, God, I've got this. I know what needs to happen. You're saying that to God, source, spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it, the higher consciousness, the one that creates it all, that you are, and simultaneously, you are a fractal of. And you're like, you know what? I've got this. It's like the child saying to the parents, you know what? It's okay. I'm only 3, but I tell you, I have it all figured out. And, what child have we met that we know feels that when they're, especially teenagers, right? Like they really bring on this, like, I got this. And you're like, you really don't. But okay, I'll let you pretend or believe that you have it, and I'll watch you hurt yourself, because that's where you learn. And that's what we did. We hurt ourselves. We really, really hurt ourselves because we were insistent in our arrogance that we knew what was best for ourselves, for humanity, for the earth. Well, look what we've done there. For the universe, we know what's best. And what absolute fucking arrogance that is. Control, the illusion of control, any idea of control is an illusion, and it is arrogant. To believe that you are in control is arrogant, because you, the version of you, the part of you that believes, that could possibly believe that you're in control, is your ego. It's the only part of you that would ever believe that. And that is a tiny, tiny part of who you really are. And important part, but not the best part. I don't mean part, not best part, as in it's a bad part. There are much more powerful and beautiful parts of you. So let go of the arrogance. I've had to let go of my arrogance, and I continue to let go of my arrogance because I've learned it hurts. Arrogance hurts. So the new way is to recognize that we are not in control. And that's freedom. It's like, I can finally let go of pretending like I have the answers, presuming that I have the answers, having to have the answers. I can let all of that go. Like, that is exhausting. And I can just start really inquiring. Oh, I actually don't know. No idea. What am I supposed to be doing? Not sure. Why don't you just tell me and I will do it? And we'll all move through life beautifully. And that's the new way. It's about connecting and communing with our inner selves and that wisdom that is superior. And, there's no hierarchy in consciousness. So as I say that, it's not really true. But from the human perspective, your inner wisdom is superior to your intellect, to your logical mind. And it can know things that you cannot. So in the new era of doingship, action taking, actioning, manifesting, we let go of the illusion and the arrogance of control. And we start to allow life through us. And that's where magic is. And that's where the effortlessness is, because you're opening up to the floodgates. The floodgates are there. They're pushing against the dam of your illusion and avoidance. And as soon as you let love in and you let love flow through you, yeah, wow, that just happened. I didn't have to make it happen. And it happened much more effortlessly and easily and beautifully than I could have ever imagined or made it be so. The wisdom that moves through you, the wisdom that moves through you, the wisdom that moves through you. So recognizing, to bring it into more practical and very understandable way, the new era is not about not doing. It is about creating more spaciousness, the pause between the breaths, the pause between the actions. It is about connecting to your aliveness, which I've talked a lot about, right? It is about recognizing what action really feels in alignment right now, the lit AF strategy, what desires to move through you right now. And you do that from a state of presence, a state of inquiry, a state of curiosity and wonder. And really noticing the quality of your doingship. Okay. Notice when you're in that state of like, I need to do this because this is going to get me something, which will have a particular vibration to it. And it feels graspy and clingy and forceful and it feels contracted ultimately. Okay. But feel it. Like, let yourself feel it. Let yourself take those actions and feel what it feels like to take action from that place that believes that there's something outside of you that you have to obtain. And then take action just simply through your aliveness, simply through what's lighting you up and feels good and feels like it just naturally wants to occur. And then notice that quality. Because remember, wealth is the art of the exchange. You are exchanging when you manifest, when you do, you are exchanging, you are bringing energy to the universe. You are giving, gifting, spending, penetrating the universe with energy. So what is the quality of that penetration? What is the quality of that giving? Is it the quality of you're not enough and you have to obtain and achieve and do in order to be love? Or is it I am love and this is how love expresses through me? And they are radically different. So, this is about presence to yourself, letting yourself make the mistakes, because we learn a lot when we make those mistakes. We learn a lot when we go, oh, I gotta do, oh, that doesn't feel good. Or why am I exhausted? Or why am I burnt out? Or why am I fatigued? Or why do I have no time? Or why does everything feel forceful? Ah, yeah, because I'm aligned to that which is decomposing. I'm intentionally being dramatic here, but it's true simultaneously. Oh, I can align to anabolic, that which wants to just flow through me. And it feels that good. That cannot be true. Nope. See, that's what the subconscious mind will do. Subconscious mind will just think that's just not possible. It couldn't possibly be that easy. And that right there is a delicious point of transmutation. When you recognize the belief that it couldn't possibly be that easy because I'm not the thing already. Oh, now you've gotten to the core. But you are the thing, and therefore it is that easy because you're already it. What a beautiful journey life is. And again, I am really grateful for you being here with me. I also love to hear from you. So if you ever feel like, shooting me an email, info@alarasage.com. And down below, you'll find the link to the Wealth Kink quiz, which really helps you to connect to what is your unique way to really experience aliveness. Because this is a new wealth paradigm. It is. And you have a choice, diabolical or anabolical. It's your choice. And I love you regardless. Until next time, much love.
Thank you for being a part of Wealth Embodied. As you experience each new day, we want you to feel that you are capable of tapping into your innate abundance and living your life wealthy and aligned. If you want to be invited to the next episode, just subscribe to our podcast. And if you need more information in the meantime, go to alarasage.com.